Hi everybody, we will start the meeting. It is 5 p.m., April 26th. Everybody's here. The warden couldn't make it tonight. She sends her regrets. Deputy warden running the show. So I will start with a pause to seek guidance. And I will move into the reading of the mission statement. To provide, promote, or facilitate municipal services that meet the community needs while preserving, supporting, and enhancing quality of life for all. Tonight's agenda, is there any additions or deletions? And I just wait for everybody else.
I'll move the approval of the agenda.
I gotta add one thing. It's to discuss moving the council meeting. We'll put that in business item number 3.
To discuss what?
Changing the council meeting to May, from the 24th to the 31st. All right. If there isn't anything else, can I get a motion to approve?
I'll move the approval of the agenda.
Second.
All in favor? Motion carried, or reminded? Motion carried. All right. There's no delegations, presentations. Has everybody read the minutes of March 22nd, 2022? Can I get an approval of the minutes?
I move approval of the minutes of March 20th.
I'll second.
Seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried. Unfinished business for the minutes of March 2022. Have any of those? Nope. All right, so we will look at the CAO reports. We've got bylaw and policy May the 3rd at 5 o'clock. Committee of the Whole is on May the 10th at 5 o'clock. Public Works, TIR, we'll have a meeting with them, joint meeting with them May 17th, and after we'll have our bylaw and policy at 6. And Council is for May 24th at 5 p.m. There's no meeting at this time for May 31st, and then we have another bylaw and policy on June the 7th at 5 p.m. Next would be. Oh, sorry.
Just note that Warden Gregory and I will be away on the 7th.
Away on the 7th. That's right. You're going to.
So you guys aren't back yet on the 7th?
I'm back on the 7th, but not in time to be here.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Take that under advisement. That changes one of our schedules, but we will look at that.
All right. Next, we'll move into capital projects. Updates on capital projects. Are there any questions?
The rural internet, which says Weymouth project completed, is that just in the village, or do you know, Jeff?
So that's the one that they've been working on for I think, just about the last year and a half, that we would mainly call the 340. Right, that was the one that was going down the 340. That's where the concentration. So I don't think there was anything that maybe right at the start counted in the village, but no, nothing was in the village there.
It's not really in the village.
No, no, it's the 340.
Yeah.
We'll move on to financial report. The income and expense report for March 2022. Any approval for that?
Nope.
No? Okay. Any questions with the income and expense report? Right. Hearing none, we will move along to the overtime, to the bylaw and policy recommendations. We have a overtime policy that we read and went through. Can I get approval? This was, explain to me again, Jeff, this was to deal with overtime policy.
Yeah, so this was for staff, and it was just simplifying our current policy. It had gotten a little convoluted over the years, so this was just simplifying it and making it uniform for all staff.
All right. Can I get approval for that?
I'll move to approve the changes to policy 3.002 overtime compensation.
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried. All right, the next is a spending motion. Is that the spring? Oh, right, moved one quarter. Yes, that's from the,
So this one is from a recommendation from me. Until we pass our budget, this one allows us to pay our bills and operate as a municipality until we pass our budget in May.
I move approval of 1/4 of the operating budget for 2021 fiscal year in the amount of $2,415,953 for the purpose of providing spending authority, business continuity for the first quarter of the current fiscal year beginning April 1st, 2022, and until a full operating budget is presented and approved by council.
I'll second that.
all in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried. All right, we can move into the business items. We have a letter from Spring into Summer funding request. They are looking for $250 to help with the, basically they are keep the prices down. They're trying to get businesses all into the rink again. They've done this for quite a few years. I think we've funded it before. Great idea. Gets things moving again. What are you guys thinking?
I move $250 to go to the spring into summer funding request.
George?
One second. Yeah, no, but I agree, yeah.
You agree?
Yeah.
So I get a motion? You made the motion, okay? You seconded it? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried.
And we're gonna put a booth in there,
A joint booth with the town, isn't it?
Yep, we are working on the details of the joint booth. Rick got us some information, and Leslie and I are just trying to get a bit more information out of Rick on the booths and locations. It's just a little bit early in his planning, but yes, we are working on that.
Thinking about a kissing booth.
Kissing booth.
So when will you need, when can we contact you with times available? In a week or so, Jim?
I would expect by the bylaw and policy meeting, Leslie and I are hoping to have, so in a week it will be a discussion on that agenda. We're just nailing down some of the details for setup and tear down from Rick and those things.
Next, we have a letter from Clean Ocean Action Committee. I'll let Jeff speak on this one for a moment.
So we've had letters from this organization over the years. I think some of you are familiar with it. On generally topics around the offshore, and we have certainly written letters of support. I think we can have a discussion on this one. This one seems to be entering into a bit more personnel within the organization than some of the other letters that our organization has dealt with. Has been more about not drilling offshore or keeping up the moratorium, more general principles that align with the group. So I guess I'll hand it over to you for discussion, but just wanted to add that context to this. Other than that, you can see they attached lots of information for you to peruse, so I'll let you have a discussion.
I want to maybe find out a little bit more about this before signing off on it. It's a lot to digest, and we just got this a few days ago. I would like to maybe push it off to a bylaw policy first. If that makes sense, what do you guys think? let's push this off to a bylaw policy. Like, you know, I read it yesterday, right? So, it's a lot to absorb, and it's quite it's quite different than the other things that we've been asked for. So I would like to just, you know, no, I'm not saying no, but I'd like to peruse it more than what we have.
Your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm okay with that. It is different than what the ones we had before, where it was just kind of a blanket thing, you know, do you support this or not? And it's, you know, it's a lot of individual stuff.
And I agree, yeah. There's too much information.
Yeah, it's just like, ugh. It's like, man, I'm supposed to make a decision on this tomorrow.
Okay, Jeff, we
Yep.
that's bylaw.
Very good.
That's what we'll do. The next, the warden has asked us to see, she's gonna be gone for a couple of conferences on the week of the May 24th. We've never changed the council meeting, but we can.
Yeah, I know.
We have to cancel it, then we have to advertise it as a special council meeting.
Okay.
So if she's asking to move it to the 31st.
I'm no problem at all with that myself. I don't know about the others, but.
No, I have no problem with it. I'm free and vacant, free on the 31st.
So I think so. I spoke to Matt before, so that is accurate. So what ends up happening is, because this is one of our regular scheduled, so we cancel that meeting, and then you'll see advertisements, and the sign out front will reflect that we have a special meeting for the 31st. And in this case, it will look, the agenda will be the same as our regular council meeting, but just to stay compliant with the NGA and other acts. So we will need a motion for this.
I move that we cancel the regularly scheduled council meeting for May 24th and move it to a special council meeting on May 31st.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried. All right, the next is a correspondence, information items. Municipality of Chester, they've sent us a letter, aware and letting us.
I don't think they asked us to do anything, was it? Just
No, they shared this to all municipal.
This
They
is
sent
their
this letter to
opinion.
the premier, and they shared it to all municipal units. So that's why it's included in correspondence. You will see on future agenda, they weren't here in time for this meeting. We have gotten a few local-based letters that will be included in a future package, but this one, there is no action. They're just sharing their correspondence.
Yeah, I've been getting texts and things like that as well.
And
Most of my letters actually been focused on the money not coming back. There's no mechanism for the money to come back to the community from which the money is leaving. That's kind of what they've been saying, just a little different than what I've been hearing from other places.
And the next letter is correspondence. This is from the PVSC, letting us know about the provincial 5% e-transfer tax they've implemented on these forms.
And I think PVSC was getting a lot of questions about their involvement in this process, which is why this letter has kind of a tone of just clarifying a bunch of things that some units hadn't even asked yet, but that I think they were just trying to get out ahead of some of the conversations that were starting to happen. So there was just a letter clarifying their involvement in the discussions and their involvement moving forward, which I think based on the letter was not much.
All right, we're moving this right along. Advisory Committee minutes and reports. Heritage Advisory Committee proposed motion. George, you're on that committee, right?
Yeah, me and Ann.
Okay. You want to go through it, Angela or George?
There's not a whole lot other than there's been a committee struck in the Weymouth North area about preserving the little library, post office, whatever it was used for before, and just to put it under the heritage, make it a heritage building.
That's quite young for a heritage building for the county.
stop is till 65. I know I've seen it, I just can't picture it in my head.
It's right on the corner in Weymouth North.
At the bottom of the hill, and when you get down,
Yep.
where the water comes in.
Yep.
Nice spot. Weymouth is a nice spot.
Yep, so we're looking for a motion that the Weymouth North Library be registered as a municipal heritage property.
I move that the Weymouth North Library building be registered as a municipal heritage property.
I'll second that.
Seconded? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded?
Good job, Tyler.
Motion carries. All right.
I totally bring you that book on Oak Island now.
Appreciate that.
Joint intermunicipal committee minutes and reports. There is one there for Dark, area recreation. Is there any questions on that? I'm on that board. We're doing some wonderful things. We're passing our budget and getting things done. Actually, they're helping out the splash park quite a bit, and there's some good stuff coming out of that. That's going to be pretty cool this summer. Next one is King's Transit March minutes. Any questions on King's Transit? 3 Western Counties Regional Libraries. The next item is Outside Boards Committee minutes, Southwest Biosphere Society. Any questions? And I will move right into the Councillor District Activity Report. Councillor Thurber, Province-Wide Housing Needs Assessment. Do you want to talk on that?
I didn't put it on there, so I'm not sure.
No,
Linda started.
I think that's just an info thing, isn't it? What is that letter about?
It's just that the government's given $406,310 to Turner, Drake and Partners, and they're doing a province-wide housing needs assessment.
So this came out of, remember, I think it was last spring or fall, the recommendations from the Housing Commission on doing, they had, I think, their 21 recommendations or 20 recommendations. So needs assessment was one of them, and NSFM very quickly said that would be very difficult for 49 individual municipalities to do 49 separate reports.
Yeah.
So the province stepped up and said that they were going to do one. So they have moved ahead. They've got the consultant. They've awarded it, and work is just starting on it. It's all good news.
That's good.
Yeah. And I expect the local.
Does this mean there won't be any major housing stuff? Like it said, it would take a year to get it.
It will be tricky because there's going to continue to be pressure and development while this is going on. And I imagine there'll be a lot of conversations now starting that people will want to wait for this report to understand more what the needs are. But I think you'll still see a lot of pressure for projects to move through, especially in some of the more urban areas. That'll be one of the challenging parts of this report.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that was under our district activity reports. I usually go around, so it just happened to be there, Angela. But
Yeah.
I'll start with you if you want to continue it on and talk about what you've been doing.
Sure. I've been still working on the energy roadmap with FCM. That's online. Attended the joint council meeting in the town of Digby. I went to the Electric City board meeting there a couple weeks ago. I'm sitting on that board right now to help them with their building acquisition or whatever. I went to the Bear River Cherry Carnival meeting. Had a lot of calls about the roads and a lot of animal reports. And I've had a lot of questions about the Oda province tax. And I think that's it.
Very good. George?
We attended the joint council meeting with the town, volunteer recognition ceremony at the school on Saturday afternoon. And, it was nice to see the recipients and stuff. We did work help with a Storybook Trail cleanup crew 2 weeks ago down at the Storybook Trail in Weymouth. To a WWDC meeting, and they're ongoing with their village improvement and the grant they got last fall. They're just finishing that off with banners and garbage receptacles, benches, signage and stuff. And Thursday this week, there's a meet and greet at the Legion Weymouth for any newcomers.
Well, that's a good idea.
It's not really a meet and greet with, it's mostly for the newcomers to come in and find out what's available, what services are provided.
Really?
But it was advertised as a meet and greet, so some people are a little bit upset. They weren't really invited if you're a community member. It's mostly for the come from a ways or whatever that have moved here to find out what's available, what services they can.
Just putting that on the fire department.
Wake up, Weymouth.
Wake up, Weymouth.
Wake up, Weymouth.
And I stopped into a new resident in the Ashmore area. He moved in from Ontario with a family, and explained the garbage sorting system to him. I don't know if he took it all in or not, but it was the only thing he had questions on. They don't really understand the garbage thing. So
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that.
That's good. David, what have you been up to?
All kinds of stuff.
Give us your top 5.
All right, I'll make it quick. Volunteer burnout's becoming a bit of an issue down on the islands. It seems everybody's getting pretty tired, and I have a number of issues arising out of that. I've got a couple of plans. I just don't have the time to implement them yet. The rapid population increase is still ongoing. We had a family of 7 move to the island at the beginning of the week, and we had another family of 4 just move there, and then there's another family of 6 coming shortly. So it's still whipping along. Housing's a big issue. I'm having a hard time finding stuff. I just got a call, $7,000 in gift cards for the food bank. So
How much?
$7,000 for the island stores, so that the money will stay local besides, which is awesome. Getting lots of kids coming to me saying, "Mom said for you to sponsor me to go to camp." Okay. But we luckily found several pools of money, so plus we'll be throwing in as well. But we're getting them all. All the kids that should get to camp are going to be getting to camp. Sammy Cage stuff, we got a public meeting coming up in a couple of weeks. Food bank is expanded. I'd say it's double what it was 5 months ago, twice as long to do. I'm encouraging local housing solutions, like people that own buildings, that might be suitable for apartments, and identifying people that are into that kind of thing. And I've actually found a few, so hopefully something will come along from the province that they might be able to get some support from the province. I had Jill Balser and Chris Donchermont down on the island for a visit. Wasn't the greatest visit. Half the island had flu and the other half had COVID. It was, geez,
Yeah.
couldn't find anybody. You're like, sorry, you go to someone's house and be like, no, don't come in. So, well, it went well. Nonetheless, talked about local issues and my ongoing meeting for June with the 3 harbor authorities. I've been working on that for 12 years. They're beginning the process of working together on large projects. There you go. So that's my big
to do. Right on. Since our last council meeting, I attended the announcement of the $3 million awarded to the Acaciaville Community Center at the Digby NSCC March 25th. There were many in attendance. Angela, you were there for that too, yeah. They will use the additional monies to complete the community center their committee has visioned. Monday, April 11th, I attended with council a joint meeting with the town of Digby. It's our first meeting we've had since COVID began.
that was good.
Talked about shared services and future projects for the upcoming year. I spent time talking with constituents about gravel and paved roads, upgrades, internet projects, and garbage removal. I've been busy with Digby Area Recreation Planning and Digby Senior Safety Committees. I also want to thank all the volunteers that were recognized at this year's Digby and Area Volunteer Ceremony this past weekend. Congratulations to the 36 volunteers that attended. And I was unable to make that event due to my stepdaughter Abby's dance competition in Halifax.
Always
Congratulations,
cannot miss the
Abby.
family
She
stuff,
got a
man.
high goal.
Oh, right on. It was
Right
worth
on.
it. Totally victory.
There's levels of gold. Like high and
There's
low.
all kinds of stuff.
There's all kinds of
There's platinum. But yes, it's been a busy month, and I'm sure it's going to get busier as the temperatures get warmer. So, in saying that, we do have it in camera for personnel issue. Can I get a
moving camera.
second? All in favor?
Aye.